Today, colleagues, were very excited. We've got our president, President Stofile. He's the president of SALGA, the South African Local Government Association. Now he's here to come and be with us, endorse what we're doing. But the reason why the president is here, sizomcela president ukuthi asikhulumele no president ukuthi upresident Twala uyiqalile into ye-G20 and the TOWNSHIP20. President, what is very interesting in the table here, you're just sitting next to Umkhaya Wako. He is our chairperson from Free State. And then
I also brought people from Free State.
Oh, okay. yes. And then Mrs. Nobukanya Vilagazi Mtembu she's our chairperson Free State. And then we've got Siabulela Skate from Eastern Cape. And then we have also Mrs. KRAAL Laka from Limpopo. And then chairperson Limpopo, chairperson Eastern Cape, chairperson Free State, and then we've got Mrs. Nomshado, Magamadozela, the chairperson Mpumalanga. And then we're expecting also our chairperson Northwest is coming, chairperson Western Cape, they're coming there just right this morning. I think they are on their way. Also our chairperson Northern Cape. The only chairperson that we're missing is the KZN. Because he had a meeting on Friday, but it overlapped to Monday. They couldn't finish. But all the provinces are here. And then this is the G20 TOWNSHIP20 National Working Committee. Then we also invited our colleagues that I would also want them to introduce themselves. A good friend of mine here. I'm so blessed to see him today. I think we more than 25 years, yes. 1990, 1993. When I was receiving the Community Build of the Year award in 1993, he was one of the leaders that we were together in the community and the nation building project. The Delasi has introduced, and then the team was introduced. I've already introduced the chairperson from the provinces.
Thank you so much. My name is Zenzele Mabokwe. I'm in Gauteng. I'm under GATOWA, that is Gauteng Tourism Association.
No, thank you very much.
It's the Bokosharenzi under the Tourism and Hospitality Institute.
Thank you. Yes,
my name is Steven, a member of TEC-G20 Skills Development Facilitator.
We're missing the surname?
Steven Shibanda.
Yes, Steven Shibanda. Thank you very much.
My name is Grant Houston, also known as Lungile Khatebe. It is our tata, ne? Yeah. And I'm from Batu Pile, sales and merchandising, and we're in youth development and youth employment, and a few other things I will chat later, but that's fine.
Thank you very much.
I'm Joel Mutapo. I'm from TEXA. I'm the director in the Office of the Presidency.
Thank you very much.
I am Debs the Visitor, Gauteng chairperson, and tourism as a whole sector leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Smile Masilo. I am MD of TEC-G20.
Thank you very much.
I'm Kagiso Kekane, also director in the Office of the President, TEXA.
I'm Khodi Mangwakape. I'm a member of TEXA G20, and I'm Mr. Smile.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, can we give our chairperson a round of applause for them to be here? I really appreciate it. Just a quick one, just to brief you, colleagues and President. We've got a company or an NPC called the Township Economic Commission SA. It's TEXA. It's a mother body. TEXA then commissioned different projects to be established and all other organizations. Because the whole concept of TECSA, it's very simple. Our mandate is to transform, develop, grow, and protect township economy with an objective of building the townships of the future, the township that we want, the smart township, the township where we can, stay, learn, work, and play. When the president talk about the smart cities, we're talking about the smart townships. That's the whole idea. Now, we then looked at all the international projects, starting from the World Summit on Sustainable Development 2002, which we brought Kofi Annan to Soweto. Then we took him to Mountain of Hope, where we want to do a statue, Saka Kofi Annan, so that Guterres, when he comes in November, so that we then build the statue. Then it becomes one of the tourist attractions. Then we put Inox on Donga Hill that you are seeing here, and then we want to do a sort of like a zip line from the towers to Inox on Donga, just to extend the tourism concept. Because people are saying, guys, we're tired of Soweto, Vilakazi, that can you bring other things. Now that's what we do. Now the Township Economic Commission, as I TECSA, then commissioned the registration after the BRICS, when we hosted, for the first time in the history of BRICS, we hosted the BRICS, summit in Vilakazi. We hosted the BRICS summit on the 15th of August, a week before the main summit, because the summit was happening on the 20th and the 21st of August. Then we had the minister in the president, Marupin Ramakgopa, as our guest speaker, and then we had the Chinese and all the guests, to that. But unfortunately, that couldn't take off. But we've invited them today. I know the minister is in Davos today, because today, colleagues, there are two big events that are happening. One, it's Davos, it's starting today, which is the World Economic Forum, and then also the inauguration of Donald Trump, the President Trump. Remember, G20, the next host is the USA, right? We've also invited guys from the US to come and join us, hoping they'll be here as well. Now, we've then commissioned the registration of the Township Economy in G20 Business Council. Now we've got a council that is looking at the township economy in the G20 space. Then we officially launch it on the 1st of December last year, when we were assuming the presidency of the G20. Then I was also on media, Newsroom Africa, to talk about it. One of the things that we've agreed, President, every month on the 20th, of each and every month we're hosting an event. Because remember, it's all about the 20, the number 20. But we're also having a project called the TOWNSHIP20 Vision 2045. It's a 20-year plan. Because remember, President said, let's look at G20 20 years back, let's look at G20 20 years to go, right? Now we are now positioning the whole concept as a 20-year plan. The agenda, the Township 20 Agenda 2045. Now, but one of the critical things, colleague, that we needed to do, System Shadow, was to find a home for the Township 20. Then we found UBUNTU KRAAL. Now this is our home. And then whereby even our office is here. One of the concepts that we are plugging in here is we are now positioning UBUNTU KRAAL. It's a new concept. It's called the G20 Corporate Village. We're doing our corporate villages nationally, where now we then showcase all those countries that are coming. What we then do, according to the alphabetical list of the G20 countries, we're taking 3 and then we host them in a month. We're starting in March. We'll host the 3 countries. Maybe we'll host Algeria, Australia, and China. Then they'll be here. Then May, but in May we're looking at African continent, because it's an Africa month. Then we know which is the Africa month we're hosting. Then we're branding this whole venue according to those countries. But in November, because it's a G20 month, we will then host Brazil, South Africa, and US, because they're a troika. Now we're then working on that. Now they ask today, we formed the team. It's a national team, where now we've got about 20 plus sectors in the township economy. Now we've grouped them according to their sectors. We call them, it's a working committee, sector focus groups, so that they look at also industry work streams, so that we make sure that the industry that is left behind. But also at the same time, this is the team that will then crisscross the country with and then in terms of that. But we then stretch it along as well and say we will also position within the team, we'll get the team that will look at the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA. You remember we were together in Cape Town with one element, and then we've introduced the township economy, to him. Then we've got AGOA, the African Growth, Opportunity Act. That is very important. Then we've got the COP 30 this year, meaning COP 30. It's a conference of parties that deals with climate change and all that. Then we have BRICS Plus, and then I know Brazil is also hosting both the COP 30 and the BRICS Plus, and then we also have UNGA, the United Nations General Assembly. But we're now zooming into all those so that we are now taking the township economy into the global stage. The request, President, is very simple. Two things. One is to get an endorsement from SOWETO, because remember we're dealing with municipalities, and then make sure that all the municipalities, we then establish the G20 Township 20, because we don't want to leave any township behind. Let's make sure. This is why we've got our national chairpersons there, so that whatever that they'll gain today, they'll go and then implement it, and then we crisscross with those projects. That's the first one. It's a support and endorsement from SOWETO, because it's our main stakeholder, and we are happy and glad that we have this relationship with your President. That's the first part. But the second part is that we want to assist us to make sure that we get recognition, most especially from the three departments. One, DERCO, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, with the Sherpa Uzain Dango as the main person that is pushing the G20. So that we don't just talk just only G20, but we also talk about BRICS, AFCFTA, and all the other projects. But also the second department that is critical is your finance, your treasury. And then the last is the presidency. And then so that at least from the presidency, because we've started the journey since from last year. We've been pushing the journey. We're already 10, 20 steps ahead from any other person that will say, we want to do something on the Township 20. Now we know also within the G20, there are also a task force that they've been established. For example, there's B20, I know it's being done in Cape Town, I think next month. Yeah. They are officially launching the B20, but there's also Y20, Youth 20. There's also the W20, the Women 20. They'll also have the U20, the Urban 20, but they also have other ones. The ones that we're interested in, one is the B20, the second one is the Y20, the U20, then the third one is the Women 20, the fourth one is the Urban 20. Because remember, townships also fall under urban, settlements and all that. Now, once we can then get those, because the concept is eager to, President. One, we want to support all those programs that are confirmed and run from the G20, from government point, but also want to do support the business ones that are individually and privately organized. Then lastly, end our own program, because naturally from our side we have projects, programs, and events. Basically, President, that's the reason why we're here. It is very important, dear colleagues, to brief the President so that the President knows and understands why are we here, and then was with your align, so that when he prepares his speech, at least it's also aligned. Colleagues, we're not going to have most of the discussion. The whole idea was to brief the President, maybe give the President an opportunity then to respond, and then but we remember, with time, I'm very critical. It's 11 now, and then if we can give the President maybe 2 or 3 minutes to respond.
Thank you very much for the greetings to you. I think this information is important because remember, we are opening Parliament on the 6th. President is delivering State of the Nation. I'm responding to the State of the Nation on the 7th. It could have been good if you tied that, these notes will be tied into that, because I will be responding to his State of the Nation and from local government perspective, what we see and so on. And I think the issues that we are raising become critically important. Probably we'll find a way of how we then put them. But the second thing is that I wish this briefing you could have given me 3 days ago, because yesterday, not yesterday, Friday, we were together. Probably could have bounced this issue to him as part of his consideration. But I know Lamula is chairing the G20 facilitation in direction of head of states and so on. We know that we have discussed that Tshwane is going to host the G20 mayors and city managers sometime, so it's in the program. Now, this issue it also then fit very well into the planning and some of the conversation that we have. I think the first call that we must, because Lamula is leading the G20, what we need to find a way to pull Lamula, Minister Lamula, in the conversation so that you begin to establish a relationship with him. And then he takes that relationship, of course, on our conversation with the President. He will be then much more comfortable when the cabinet member, which is given that task, is taking the responsibility. I think it's one of the issues that probably we can look at, consider it. Look, I'm happy that almost all of you are coming from different provinces. So you've got a spread existence anywhere in the country, which is very happy, which I think the President will be happy seeing that or hearing that when we have a moment to interact with him. We will engage him, but we will also engage a minister that has been tasked with this responsibility, because it's important for that minister to have a buy-in into what you are trying to put together. So the President doesn't hear it for the first time. You will hear it from us in local government, but people that are responsible for the responsibility, they are nowhere to be found. I think to me it will be important for us to coin it in that way. And endorsement is a very difficult word. Endorsement. Our role is to lobby and advocate for interest of communities and local municipalities, and that is why the Constitution gives us space to present our views in Parliament during the debate and serving in different committees. What we will do, which I think to me it will be important, is that from time to time we'll try to bring as much as possible different mayors, because ultimately you need to have relations with these mayors. From time to time, if I knew I could have brought data today and so on, so that you start from there to have a conversation. We've got different programs that we are running throughout the country. I will be in the Eastern Cape before the cabinet. Before the cabinet Lekgotla. Next week is an ANC Lekgotla, and then that week is a cabinet Lekgotla. In the Eastern Cape, there is commemoration and celebration of Battle of Sandwana, something like that. I just forgot the name, which we are going there with the Deputy President. We will also bounce this to him. So in the process, as you engage the President, you must also bring the Deputy President, because remember, the Deputy President is responsible for business governance relations. Now, this, what you're talking about, it falls into his pot, generally. So it will be important in your strategic conversation also draw him in, because he's the person lead in the conversation of that nature. I know I'm having a session with him on the 4th. We will raise that. Probably we'll ask him or his office or DG in the office to have an interaction with yourselves, so that you facilitate that conversation with him or his department, whatever the case might be. So yes, we agree. but that does not mean we endorse.
Yeah.
We
Support.
agree and enter into
Support,
partnership
yeah,
and partner with yourselves, so that, because to us as a local government sector, your contribution is very much important. We've conducted a study about tuck shops, but we use KRAAL in the Western Cape. We know over trillions of rands are not banked. And are leaving the country. And you can imagine the investment that the country is doing in our township doesn't land and circulate. It lands and leave. And therefore people are subjected to object of poverty in the area. So your intervention becomes so important, because you are saying, let us coordinate these efforts so that we can change the outlook of the economy in the township. I'm saying in my notes, which I'm sharing, I know township economy is referred to be a secondary issue at a peripheral level. But township economy, for instance, Soweto, as big as it is, if it refuses to support the primary economy, won't rise. So therefore, you need dialectical relations between the primary and the so-called secondary economy. But yeah, I think we're ahead.
Okay, colleagues, thank you very much. I think we are ready. I think let's go start our meeting. Thank you very much. Colleagues, good luck.
My name is Bongani Nkosi. I'm the Deputy President of TEC-G20, TOWNSHIP20. We are today here at UBUNTU KRAAL, where we were talking to our sector groups, whom we have created in terms of all the sectors that are available in the TEC-G20, where they are supposed to be presenting, and they presented very well the work that they're intending to do, and in terms of the proposals where we are going to be engaging with the government on all the sectors, where we would want also the government and the private sector to come through and also be part of the township economy and also in the G20 summit. So why did we want to involve all the sectors? It is because of we want to make sure that when the G20 is happening, they must also bring it down to the townships as well, so that the township can also experience what is the G20 summit and the engagement and the relationships that they are going to be built with the international countries that are coming into the country. And we want to also share our township experience with them, so that they can collaborate and also bring in trade within those international companies. That is our whole aim in making sure that we cover all the sectors, so that when the delegates are coming in from all different countries, then we are able to make sure that we are engaging with them in terms of the business trade and the collaborations that will be happening in the future. So today here at UBUNTU KRAAL, we had all the delegates that we have invited throughout all the provinces, all 9 provinces. They were here, and they also understood that the G20 summit is something that is going to happen in the whole country. So our heads of provincial heads in the G20, in the TEC-G20, were here to also grasp and be informed that the sectors in all communities, in all businesses are going to be covered, and they're going to share the information and what we have shared today with them in their provinces as well. No, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.